What if I told you that every bullet fired, every bomb dropped, and every war waged isn't just about freedom or security? It's about profit. In America, war has become more than a battlefield. It's a business model, a trillion-dollar industry where conflict fuels corporations and peace threatens the bottom line. From Wall Street to Washington, the machinery of war keeps turning, and someone is cashing in every step of the way. The question is, who really wins when the world goes to war? War isn't only fought with soldiers and weapons, it's fought with contracts, balance sheets, and profit margins. In America, conflict has become a carefully engineered money-making machine. Every missile fired is a product sold. Every jet built is a multi-billion-dollar contract fulfilled. Every overseas deployment means more funding for defense contractors. The U.S. military budget towers above every other nation, larger than the next 10 countries combined. But here's the secret. This isn't simply about national defense. It's about how war itself has been transformed into a self-sustaining industry, where bloodshed translates directly into dollars. Did you know that when global tensions rise, Wall Street celebrates? In the world of markets, peace doesn't pay, but war does. Defense stocks thrive when the drums of war beat louder. A crisis overseas isn't just a geopolitical event, it's an investment opportunity. Companies like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, and Boeing see their values soar with every escalation. When peace negotiations falter, shareholders smile. It sounds dark, but this is the hidden reality. Stability reduces demand, while instability drives sales. For the war industry, tension is currency, fear is leverage, and every conflict becomes another chance to cash in. What if the government isn't just protecting you, but protecting corporate profits? Back in 1961, President Dwight D. Eisenhower warned America about the rise of what he called the military-industrial complex. He feared that a permanent arms industry, working hand in hand with politicians, would create a system where wars are less about necessity and more about profit. Today, that warning has become prophecy. Defense corporations fund political campaigns, lobby Congress with millions, and ensure that war budgets never shrink. Generals retire and step directly into cushy boardroom seats. Politicians secure lucrative contracts for their districts. This triangle of power, politicians, the Pentagon, and private industry, has turned conflict into one of America's most profitable exports. What if America's greatest wars weren't just fought for survival, but for empire building? History reveals the pattern. World War II didn't just defeat fascism. It cemented the U.S. as the world's economic powerhouse, with factories humming and defense innovation skyrocketing. The Cold War created decades of guaranteed contracts. Trillions poured into weapons and technology, all under the banner of containing communism. Then came the War on Terror, a conflict that spanned 2 decades, cost taxpayers over $8 trillion, and filled the coffers of defense contractors beyond imagination. Each war built more than strategies. It built empires of wealth, where the lines between protecting democracy and profiting from destruction became harder and harder to see. Could it be that your phone, your GPS, even your internet exist because of war? War isn't a side note to America's economy. It's a driving force. Military projects gave us the internet, GPS, and even microwaves. Oil-rich regions became battlegrounds, ensuring energy dominance and trade advantages. Defense budgets keep banks, contractors, and suppliers flush with cash, while cities dependent on defense contracts fight to keep war spending alive. But here's the twist. While these innovations and profits enrich a few, they come at the cost of ballooning national debt and strained social programs. War may boost GDP, but it also reshapes priorities. often sacrificing education, healthcare, and infrastructure on the altar of defense. If war makes so many people rich, why does it leave millions in poverty? Behind the glossy corporate profits lies a trail of devastation. Soldiers return home broken in body and mind. Civilians in war zones pay with their lives, homes, and futures. Taxpayers foot the bill for wars they never voted for. Their money funneled into trillion-dollar contracts, while schools and hospitals crumble. The hidden cost of war is measured not in profits, but in grief, debt, and despair. For every billionaire made richer by conflict, millions of ordinary people pay the real price, sometimes in dollars, often in blood. If America is the most powerful military on earth, why do its wars never seem to end? The uncomfortable truth is that some wars aren't designed to be won. They're designed to be sustained. For corporations, forever wars mean forever profits. Vietnam stretched nearly 2 decades. Iraq and Afghanistan, 20 years of continuous contracts with no exit strategy that didn't involve trillions more spent. Each new surge or military strategy translated into new weapons orders, new supply chains, and new revenue streams. Ending war is bad for business. That's why conflicts are often stretched, recycled, or reignited under new names. It's less about victory and more about sustaining the cycle of endless demand, keeping the military-industrial machine running at full speed. What is the one product America sells more than anyone else? Not technology, not oil, weapons. The United States isn't just the world's largest military, it's also the world's largest arms dealer. Fighter jets, rifles, tanks, and missiles flow to dozens of nations, often under the banner of security partnerships. These deals are worth hundreds of billions, with defense contractors reaping profits, while governments justify them as diplomacy through strength. But there's a dark twist. Weapons don't disappear after a handshake. Guns and bombs sold today often fuel tomorrow's conflicts, sometimes even against US forces. War becomes both the product and the marketing campaign, creating a feedback loop where America not only fights wars, it manufactures and exports them as a global commodity. What if the next battlefield isn't on land, sea, or air, but in space, cyberspace, and your very devices? The wars of the future won't just be fought with bullets and bombs. Cyber warfare, artificial intelligence, autonomous drones, and space militarization are already rewriting the playbook of global conflict. Cyber defense contracts are worth billions as governments race to protect infrastructure from digital attacks. AI-driven drones are transforming battlefields, where machines make decisions in seconds. Space is emerging as the next trillion-dollar frontier, with satellites, laser defense systems, and orbital weapons under development. For the defense industry, these aren't science fiction dreams. They're tomorrow's revenue streams. The technology of war may change, but the profit formula stays the same. Weaponize fear, expand budgets, and keep the contracts flowing. What if peace could be more profitable than war? The harsh reality is that America has built an economy where war pays better than peace. Politicians talk about freedom, democracy, and security. But behind the curtain lies an industry designed to keep conflict alive. As long as war remains lucrative, the cycle will continue. Wars will drag on, new threats will be manufactured, and corporations will cash in. But awareness is power. The more people ask the hard questions, who profits, who pays, who loses, the harder it becomes to keep the illusion alive. Maybe, just maybe, the future doesn't have to be written in bullets and bombs. If we can imagine a system where peace creates more prosperity than war, then the business of conflict can finally be replaced by the business of humanity. If this documentary gave you a new perspective, Hit like so more people can see the truth. Don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening videos on money, power, and the hidden forces shaping our world. And tell us in the comments, do you believe peace could ever compete with war as a business model? Because until that answer changes, the business of war will remain America's most profitable empire.